Hello there, good morning, and welcome to today's vlog. I've started a new drawing in my little textbook, sketchbook even, and towards the end of this time-lapse video I'll show you what I've been doing with others very briefly. I've decided to do a time-lapse with a voiceover because, well, I started wittering about things that I'm not sure is appropriate. It was about mental and emotional well-being and complex post-traumatic stress and all kinds of things here. And I just decided, no, let's just approach it this way. It's I got no idea at all what I was drawing. I've got an introvert hangover today. I had time with people. I picked up a food order, click and collect at Tesco's yesterday, so I had interaction with real people. Well, I say real people, people in person there yesterday. And I was chatting with Brett until late last night, and I've woken up this morning with an absolute thumping headache. I'm extremely tired. And suddenly I realised, oh my gosh, it's an introvert hangover. So I had quite a few Zoom meetings yesterday. All nice, all pleasant, some meditation, some reflective, some with friends and like-minded people. So, and I went out for a walk. So I have, so I perhaps overdid the peopling thing. Yes, even though it's online, it doesn't matter to an introvert. I'm still with people. I'm still having to interact socially and in one way or another, and it does take its toll on me. But that's fine. It's relatively cool here still, thank goodness. I say relatively because it's still 18 degrees Celsius. It's forecast to be about 25, I think it is today, which is a tad warmer than I'd like, but it'll be okay. I'll cope, I think. Whether I go out for a walk or not, I don't know. I know that I made the decision that as soon as it's cooler, I need to turn my attention to the coloured plates for whimsical cats and to get those done. So once this is done and I've had breakfast and everything else, and this is all my social media is done, and that's what I'll be turning my attention to for today. And I'll decide whether I go out for a walk or not. I managed to catch the sun on my face on Saturday, and it was dark and dismal and stormy, and I still have caught the sun, and I forgot to put sunblock on. I put sunblock on when I went out for my walk yesterday, and so there wouldn't have been any more damage, but dear goodness. It's and Zoom of course brings out all that redness, so I look like I'm like a lobster really. I'm not really, but it looks a lot worse than it is, so I'll decide whether I do go out later. It depends on headache and tiredness. Introvert hangovers are a thing, and I'm extremely tired. I've got a headache. I'm just drained and need time to myself. But we'll see. So I'm using a 0.1 micron here to add details in between those main blobs and so on. And I carry on adding things here. I've got no idea what is happening with this. It's turning out kind of botanical, but whether it stays that way, because I'm just doing the start here. And I really enjoyed doing it because here I'm adding lines there, and I'm adding some stippling, little dots to add shadow, to give the illusion there's sort of like a dip in the middle, quite a sharp dip. I don't know what you call it. I don't know what the word is for it. It's not a fold, but it looks like there's a long thin dimple there, and the shadows help to do that. And it does take me a while to do it. It's not the neatest stippling in the world, but it's good enough. It'll do. And it was just so nice just to do this. And I do like to start my day, even if I've got the pressure of deadlines and things like that. I do like to start the day with some personal art, just something that I can do just for pleasure, just to do while I'm coming around and realizing I'm actually still in the world. That sounds bad, but that I'm in the world and I'm not in a land of sleep and dreams and imagination, which I can get caught up in. So as I come around from that dream state, I suppose, sleep state, it's nice to do something like this. So I talk about that, and I sometimes I'm wondering now, I wonder how much my dreams and my imagination in that sleepy state influence my artwork. I'm not entirely sure. I would have dreamt and thought about some weird-arsed, fruity, possible thingy, seedy thing, but who knows. I'm sure the phantasmagoria of dreams and imagination, even if we're not aware of it, has something to play with our unconscious mind, perhaps. Could be things that I've looked at, because I did buy some more books for my stash of nice pretty books to look at on my Kindle. Not my Kindle itself, but on my desktop, because I can see everything in big images and full glorious colour, and definitely eye candy from the books that I bought. And those obviously filter through into my unconscious, because there are things I go, oh, that's really interesting. And then it comes back out in some way. And of course, then it's more designs, motifs like this to end up in my visual reference book for future use. This overall drawing, what I've done so far, took about half an hour, 35-40 minutes, I think. Well, actually no, it was probably about 35 minutes in total. So I've sped this up quite a lot, for about 10 minutes long the video is, I think. So that's, I don't have a lot to say. My head is really causing me issues, but it'll be all right. Breakfast will help. The headache pills will kick in at some point. And most probably an afternoon nap will definitely help, because I don't think I had enough sleep. But I don't know for that. I don't know for sure about that. But yeah, it's so life just potters on, and my attention goes back to the whimsical cats. I keep calling it whimsical kittens, but they were cats. Book, and I'm going to have fun adding colour today. Frustrated fun, because I do get frustrated with the colour choices I make at times, but that will work out nicely. So there we are, I've done that bit. So now I'm going to have a quick look through other areas. I'm quite happy with that as it is. I really am. It's kind of, but you'll see, I'll come back to it. I know what I did. So here I'm just flipping back. This is the one that I really like. I've added shading with a Bic biro, a black biro, fine biro, and I'm keeping the colours in a very limited colour palette, and it's working out really nicely. I've added details with Sakura souffle pen in white, but also some gold, which you might see as I pick it up and flash it underneath the camera, in the hope that you can see some shiny reflections there. So I used a gold glitter gel pen, but with a clear glaze pen on the top, which seals the glitter in. That's the one I did yesterday that I finished. I think I showed this yesterday. I haven't done anything else to it. I'm totally uncertain. This one I've started adding shading to it with the Bic biro, because I enjoyed it so much on that coloured one. And when I use micron pens or other pens, they tend to be a bit stark, a bit black for what I want. And I noticed that with the one that I finished yesterday, or the one I showed yesterday, the one that looks a bit like a skull, a weird skull and brain. And here I decide to go back with a Bic biro, and I'm talking about how I've used shadow and highlight to give that sense of depth and volume to these bits. But here we go, I'm using a Bic biro to add some shading to these areas. And I like the bit biros because although it's black, it's a grey, and with a light touch you can get a very pale grey, almost non-existent if there's hardly any touch with the pen pressure. And so I'm adding some there to help lift that central bit off the background, and those little bits in between I know I want to add some gold to. So I'll say thank you for joining me, thank you for watching, enjoy the rest of your day, please be creative, and take care. See you soon. Bye bye.